I paid my family $3,000 a month. They sided with my nephew. After he bullied my daughter, so I cut them off. My name is Marcus, and for the last 8 years, I've been the silent pillar holding up my entire family. I built a successful tech consulting firm from the ground up, and while I never flaunted my wealth, I made a decision to share my success. I gave my parents and my sister's family a combined $3,000 every single month. It was never a loan, it was a gift. For my parents, it was to supplement their pension so they could travel and relax in their retirement. For my sister, it was to help with her son's private school tuition and their mortgage. I thought I was building a stronger family. I was actually building a cage of dependency and entitlement. The incident that shattered the illusion happened at a Sunday family dinner at my parents' house. These dinners were a weekly tradition, a ritual I funded without a second thought. My daughter, Lily, who is 9, is a quiet, artistic soul. My nephew, Josh, who is 12, is the family's golden child, constantly praised for his athleticism, which often masked a mean, competitive streak. That night, Lily was quietly showing her grandparents a beautiful watercolor painting she had made of a butterfly. She was so proud of it. Josh, bored, snatched it from her hands. Lily said, "Josh, give it back." "Please," Josh said. "Why? It's stupid. Butterflies are for babies." He then proceeded to crumple the painting into a ball right in front of her. My daughter's face crumpled faster than the paper. Tears welled in her eyes. As a father, seeing your child's joy deliberately destroyed is a unique kind of agony. I stepped in, my voice firm but calm. I said, "Josh, that was unacceptable. You will apologize to your cousin right now. You do not get to destroy something someone else has created out of hard work and love." Before Josh could even mutter a word, the room turned on me. My sister, Brenda, was out of her chair in a flash. Brenda said, "Marcus, don't you dare talk to my son like that. It was just a piece of paper. He was just playing around. You're always so hard on him." My mother chimed in, her voice pleading. My mother said, "Oh, Marcus, don't make a scene. It's just children bickering. Boys will be boys." "Let it go," I said. "Let it go?" "Mom, he deliberately hurt her. This isn't bickering. This is bullying, and if we don't teach him now, it will only get worse." Then my father spoke, his voice low and disappointed. My father said, "You know, Marcus, for a man who provides so much, you have a real lack of family spirit. You're always so focused on your own little unit. You come here with your judgment and your rules, but you don't know what it's like to struggle." The words hit me like a physical blow. A lack of family spirit? I looked around the room at their angry, defensive faces. I saw my daughter, Lily, hiding behind my leg, sobbing silently. I saw Josh smirking, already knowing he was protected. And in that moment, the scales fell from my eyes. The $3,000 a month wasn't appreciated. It was expected. My support wasn't building gratitude. It was funding their ability to disrespect me and my child. I took a deep breath, the heat of my anger cooling into a steely resolve. I said, "So, this is what family spirit looks like to you? Letting a bully go unchecked because he's your favorite? Allowing my daughter to be hurt to keep the peace? And you," I said, looking at my father, "you think my money shows spirit, but my defense of my own child shows a lack of it?" Brenda sneered at me. Brenda said, "Just drop it, Marcus. You're being a useless drama queen as always. Just write your check and leave the parenting to us." That was the final straw. Useless. The word hung in the air. I was only useful for one thing. I said, "You're right, Brenda. I have been useless. I've been useless at recognizing that I was paying people to treat my daughter and me with contempt." I took out my phone. I opened my banking app right there at the dinner table. The room watched in confused silence. I found the scheduled recurring transfer for $3,000, due to go out in 2 days. I selected it. I hit cancel. I said, "The checks stop. Today. All of them. You can figure out your own tuition, your own mortgage, your own vacations. Since my money is the only thing that gave me any value in this family, consider me now useless." And we are leaving. I picked up my sobbing daughter, held my wife's hand, and we walked out. The silence behind us was deafening. The first calls came that night. They were not apologies. My mother said, "Marcus, you're overreacting. You can't be serious. How will we manage? Your father is having a fit." Brenda said, "This is a joke, right? You're going to punish all of us because of a kid's fight? You're pathetic." I didn't argue. I simply blocked their numbers. For the first month, it was a torrent of anger and manipulation. Then, as the financial reality set in, the tone changed. The messages, now from unblocked numbers or my wife's phone, became desperate. My father said, "Son, we need to talk. Your mother isn't sleeping. We might lose the house. We're family." Brenda said, "Marcus, I'm sorry, okay? Josh is sorry. Please, the school is threatening to expel him if we don't pay the tuition. You're his uncle." They showed up at my office. They waited in the parking lot. They sent long, rambling emails filled with excuses and, finally, hollow apologies that always circled back to the money. They came crawling back, not out of love or remorse for how they treated Lily, but because the faucet of cash had been turned off. I met them one last time, in a public park. They looked tired and frayed. The confident, entitled family from dinner was gone. My father said, "Son, we made a mistake. We were wrong. We'll apologize to Lily properly. Just, please, we can't survive without your help." I looked at them, my heart a mix of pity and finality. I said, "A mistake is spilling milk. What you did was a choice. You chose to defend a bully. You chose to call me useless in front of my child. You chose to value my money over my family's well-being. Now you get to live with the consequences of those choices. The money is gone forever. Do not contact me or my family again." The look of sheer panic on their faces was the final confirmation I had done the right thing. I walked away for the last time. The weight of their dependency finally lifted from my shoulders. I used that $3,000 a month to start a massive college fund for Lily and take my family on real vacations, creating memories filled with laughter, not tears. I learned that sometimes the most powerful way to love your family is to stop letting them use you. True family doesn't drain you. It fills you up, but they didn't go quietly. Their desperation led them to try and manipulate my business partners and even spread vicious lies about why I cut them off. The war they started after that meeting in the park was uglier than I could have ever imagined. If you want to see how far a family will go when their cash cow runs dry, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell because the story of their downfall is still unfolding. Ball is still unfolding.